I had to ask myself, Dina, do you really love you? The way you make videos, are you that person that you try to show up to be as? Peace, family, peace, peace, peace. Okay, so this is pretty much part two of It's Okay to Be Pissed Off, right? And I wanted to do a part two because first I wanted to, so I wanted you guys to hear me, okay? And then secondly, I wanted to finish some valid points. Peace, family, peace. Okay, so one of the things that we have to do is really be honest with ourselves. And sometimes honesty, it may feel a certain way, right? To admit to yourself that I'm not loving me as much as I want others to love me, or I'm not loving me as much as I'm showing the world, right? And, as I was at the park earlier today, one of the things that came to mind, it was a few things that came to mind. And one was about divine timing, okay? Oftentimes we get upset how people may have raised us, right? Once you are on your healing journey, it's stages that you will go through, okay? And maybe not all of us go through those stages, but I know it's times where as though I've been pissed off. It's times where as though I felt like, why did I have to, experience that and go through that? And one of the things I'm going to say is this. Everything that we have done in the past, it caused us to be the man or woman that we currently are today. Okay? And some parts of your journey, okay, you needed to go through that in order to get to where you currently are today, right? So I shared with you guys, when I was going after being monetized, right, on YouTube. And, I would put so many videos out, and that was one. And not to say that I wasn't passionate about the videos, but I was passionate. But it also came from a standpoint of, I have goals, and let me reach my goals, and let me hit my goals. And I still have goals, but recently everything just shifted. I shared with you guys last week, right? And my video that I did, it's like about a week ago. And is having a healthy relationship with food. And I had took my youngest son to the doctor, and this is really like what stemmed it. And at first I wasn't gonna put it in a video about my youngest son, because one, I was like, if I put it in a video, then I'm gonna have to be held accountable, right? When you guys see my videos and the way I eat and stuff like that. And so it was a little fear going on, but I wanted to pretty much put it in a video because, our children, they merely do what they see us do, right? And if they see that we have a emotional eating response to food, oftentimes that's mainly what they're going to do because they only do what they see us doing. And so when I took my youngest son, who is 9 years old, to the doctor, his lab work came back, and they pretty much, the doctor said that, it showed he was pre-diabetic. And it was like everything at once just came down, right? Like everything, me experiencing their headache that day, then the doctor telling me about my son, And it was a part of me that just was like, I'm going back to, plant-based. I'm going back to eating healthier. And I think a lot of times we may compare ourselves and say, well, this person said this and this person said that. And that's what I did along my journey. I would say, well, some people say this and some people say that. But ultimately, you have to see what's going on with you. Okay? You have to see, if those people getting headaches or those people, are they going to the hospital? Now don't go to the hospital, but you have to see, because a lot of times we compare ourselves and say, well, it works for them, so let me do it. Just because it works for one, it does not mean that it works for you. You also have to understand that your journey is your journey and it's unique. And no matter what people may say, because even in a spiritual space, okay, and I did a video and I said, about eating meat, and, somebody else said something different. So along your journey, one of the things I'm going to say is you have to see what works for you, okay? And granted, some things work for others and some things may, but it's all about you checking in with yourself and saying, how do I feel and what is going on with my body, okay? The next thing is this, forgiveness, okay? Forgiveness. And I was thinking about this when I was at the park. Oftentimes we say, well, this person did X, Y, and Z, but then you continue to do the thing that that person showed you to do, okay? You continue to do, and people, they do things out of love. They think, well, this is the way I was brought up. And, it's not like, oh, I want to hurt you and I want you to feel, it's really out of love, because the way I was brought up, okay, my parents, one, they did the best that they knew how to do. That's one. And then two, I continued, okay, as I became an adult, I continued to do some of the things that my parents may have showed me that does not work. And not only did I do it, but I also then showed my children also what to do, okay? So, and many times, you have to look at your life and you have to say, am I continuing a vicious cycle, okay? Am I doing the same exact thing that I was brought up to do, right? And then also, you have to understand this. When you forgiving others, you also mainly forgiving yourself first, because you continue to do that thing, okay? The next thing is this. Every part of your journey, it means something. Okay, and so when I was uploading, so many videos, right? And I love making content. I absolutely love it. But nowadays, I have let go of the outcome. I am not just a content creator, okay? And a lot of times I think we start, putting these labels and titles on ourselves and saying, well, I am this and I am that, but you are so much more than that, okay? And so I start the book, the Mayat book, that I've been reading, and I showed you guys, in my previous videos. I don't know, it just put everything in retrospect, whereas though it's like, oh my goodness, this makes so much sense. And then letting go, really letting go of the outcome and really trusting the process. So you have to understand that you came here for something, and every part of your journey, your upbringing, what you've been through, growing up, the way you grew up, all those things, they contribute to the man or woman that you become. They contribute to the person that you strive to change and become your higher self, or they contribute to you just repeating the same exact cycle, which you have been programmed to repeat. When you start changing, right, you will feel some form of anxiety. And the reason being is because you've been practicing this lifestyle, been practicing this thing for so long that you actually believe that you are that person that has been conditioned to believe the things that you believe. And so to the person that's out there, I really, really wholeheartedly want you to understand that you have greatness in you. You have more to you, okay? Also, it all begins with you. No matter what transpired before you, okay, ultimately, it begins with you. And with that being said, I love you guys. I catch you guys on the next one.